First of all, I'd just like to thank everyone for taking their time out to travel such a long way from across the nation and overseas. I know we've got some academics here as well, from Fiji, New Caledonia and Solomon Islands. So thank you so much everyone, and I do appreciate your efforts in addressing this agenda. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners, the Jarrabah people of the lands on which we meet today. And I'd also like to acknowledge all the dignitaries that spoke this morning and the Vanuatu delegation, Ralph Regenbana, who came across to participate. All those Australian South Sea Islander leaders who've laid the foundation for what we build on today. I'd like to acknowledge all of you in the room and those past and present. We can't do this without you, and it's great that we're here to initiate and start the much needed conversations in moving forward in setting up a national representative body. I'd like to acknowledge the team that I work with. They've been relentless and just unbelievable in terms of their voluntary commitment to this vision in bringing us to this point in time. So just for those that don't know, there's Danny Togo, Vice President, and Auntie Shireen Malamu, who's just been phenomenal in her sharing of wisdom and my support through thick and thin. Pastor Ray Minacon, Dwayne Vickery, who just brings it home, Graham Tanna, and Murray Geisler, who's here today scribing for us. I can't thank you enough for all your support with the last couple of years in just making things happen for us. Our historical advisory panel, Clive Moore, I just want to commend you for enduring the differences that we've been through over these last few months, and for the work that you've done as a part of a 40-year history in recognition of our people. And it's no easy task, and I know that you've rolled with the punches, and thank you very much. And also Professor Rachel Smallwood, who's here today, amazing lady and a really great backstop, an amazing activist of 45 years of history. The knowledge that you bring to the table and just punching it home for us is invaluable, and I thank you so much for giving up your time today. And we also have Dr. Frances Babongi, and congratulations on your beautiful new daughter. But she's always been there, fed back when possible, and I know that she's got a lot on her plate. But thank you for participating and being a part of this vision as well, because it authenticates what we're trying to do. We're doing the best we can do. And as for Professor Doug Hunt and Steve Mullins, thank you too, with your history that you bring to the table. My board, my son Shola Diop, who's scraping the roof here, he's walking around. He's my inspiration, as well as my mother Nellie Enares, and my daughter, who's just always by my side. I love you very much, and thank you so much for putting up with this for the last few years. And it's not easy, and they're so patient with me. So that's really important for me. Sorry, I'm just scrolling. But just in speaking about how this all came about, and acknowledging Chief Colin Terrere, who's not here today, and Ralph Regenbana, who introduced us in being able to participate in the first sort of forum that Wantok came out of, and that happened in 2011. I know there are people who participated as a part of that vision, Mary and her husband and a number of other people in the room, and that planted the seed for us to go on and continue this struggle. And it's been a lot of work by a lot of people for next to nothing, and we're seeing the fruits of those labours. And without that sort of commitment and that ongoing coming together, we really won't have a true national representative body. It's about us all taking responsibility, and we do that in very different ways, but trying to put our differences aside is one of the biggest tasks on our agenda. The rest will come easy, but we really do need to pull back and look at the bigger picture for us. And I know that there's a lot of differences in the room today, but I think we're big enough, old enough and strong enough to overcome those differences. And unless we sit down at the table and have the discussions that are needed, we're going to lay dormant. You know, we won't be moving forward. And I know that today is a fine example that we are going to move forward. So I congratulate you all for being here today. I'd just like to, well, as you know, my name, I've been recently given a Tanna Island name when I went back. Thank you, Tanna. Woman Tanna. Went back to Vanuatu as a part of the commemoration ceremonies that the Vanuatu government hosted in recognition of our forefathers and mothers, and I was honoured. Chief Simon took me out to the Nakamalon half road, and there was a ceremony which was quite overwhelming. I wasn't expecting it, but it was in recognition of leadership. And the name that was bestowed on me was Waskam Emelda Davis, and that's the name that I'll be using to take this vision forward, should we be able to come to some sort of resolution today. But I'd like to thank those ladies from the Tafia Australia connection and the Vanuatu Indigenous Descendants Association, who've been a strong part of this vision for the last few years. So congratulations on being here as well. I guess I'm really shooting from the hip here, but the work that we've done to date is by no means easy, and as you know, many of you in the room who've been a part of this long history that we've had, that Danny read out and others that have acknowledged here in the room today, the hours and the relentless commitment that's required to do this work. I'd like to say that we present this national body structure that Dwayne's going to be talking us through in the next few hours with all the best intent, and there's nothing that can't be changed, but we do need to really come up with a solution to this structure. We need to move on from this point today. I'd hate to see this not go ahead, and the chips may stay where they fall, and we're very flexible and open to working with community and those leaders who are required to take this vision forward from a grassroots Australian South Sea Islander perspective. We're urging you to come forward and participate and communicate, and where we fall down, pull us up, and let's work together in making it happen. There's a lot of people have read about the achievements, so I'm not going to talk about ASSI.PJ for much longer because it's already been spoken about. And if you want to speak more about some of the work we've been doing, then we're more than welcome as a part of this afternoon's forum to discuss that. But let's just keep the ball rolling for now, and thank you very much for being here.